do you have water? Because we're
Oh, yes, right there. That was a great intro because I just started recording.
Oh, recording now?
Okay, so this is the second episode of Impostor Syndrome. I am new to podcasting, so this is going to be weird, and we're going to have fun.
Yeah, most definitely.
So this is Patrick Chen. I did, 3 films with you at this point?
2 with me and 1 with Celia, not for me.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't count for us, Celia. Well, and we did do that one thing in Philly, but that never happened.
Yeah. I wish it got to next level and everything like that.
Yeah, what happened? Was it just Tim never recorded his thing or couldn't?
No, it was just the dialogue that we never got to get going. Mm-hmm. And hold on one second. Can we re-record that?
No.
No, because this thing it's really bothering me.
Okay, don't fine. It's all live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yeah. No, with Tim's audio, it was basically we didn't have the right dialogue. I mean, it's a voiceover piece, so we couldn't find the right fit. Do we want to be poetic? Do you want to be straightforward? So it was just really hard to get the right fit. And my schedule and his schedule just didn't line up. Every now and then I'll just dabble on that short and see if I can work something out, but it just never came through.
No.
Because, basically you have important things to do. I have important things to do.
Yeah, that's how it is.
It was just an exercise,
Yeah. So, give the people a little intro about yourself, and I'll fill you in more on the what we're doing here.
All right. Basically, I'm a local New York Asian American filmmaker here in Queens, New York. Did a couple of short films. Traveled some of my work to local, mostly Asian American film festivals. Great experience. Still writing. Born and raised in Queens. Raised by immigrant family, as most minorities have been. I would say I'm 1 generation Chinese American. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, what I was telling you a little bit before. For me personally, this podcast is for getting to know people better that I've worked with or will work with. It's kind of a good way to break the ice. And I don't have a big following yet, but eventually it'll be get promotion for you or whoever is on.
You just gotta be shirtless on Instagram or social media. That helps a lot.
Nobody needs to see my man titties. Although if you want, you throw me a couple bucks, I'll do it. I'll do anything for $1.
No, I mean, I think you're a good guy. I mean, if I didn't find you a good guy, I wouldn't have referred to other projects, or I wouldn't have worked with you the second time. Being that you're a good guy, you're a talented composer. Like everyone else, just practice makes perfect. I'm still learning as a filmmaker. So it's just basically the key is networking. Networking your ass off. Be humble. Be polite.
And that's why I started this, is because I'm shit at networking. I do the best I can, but I feel like this is a better. It can provide extra value to the people I'm networking with. So
I mean, I see you network and you're good at it. I mean, just know what to say when. I'm not saying you exactly, but towards anyone. Like some people tend to ramble off about unnecessary things, like, I don't know, like, oh, did you, the weather's nice today. No, just get to the point, show your work, be polite, and stuff like that. And I mean, a good conversation starter is definitely Game of Thrones.
Yes, yeah, we had talked about that a little bit on the last one, because my previous guest was, he's only on season 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told him he needs to stop everything else he's doing and just get caught up.
Yeah, I mean,
it's only a month.
Yeah, it's only a month, honestly. I can't wait. I mean, it's definitely a good conversation starter.
Yeah.
Everyone in business or anyone alive on Earth has watched Game of Thrones. And
you'd think. Yeah. I meet a lot of people that haven't.
I mean, no, some people are just binge watchers. They just want to wait until the season's over.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I just re-binged all of it.
I know. I don't think I could do that yet until the series is over. but I should because
it was really helpful because there's so much shit that you forget.
Yeah.
So now I'm caught up. I remember everything.
Yeah, and it's really hard to know like everyone's proper names.
Yeah.
Because with the thick accent, you're like, who's that guy? It's like, oh yeah, it's that guy who, raped the kid or threw the mom out, and that person just chopped that head off. It's ridiculous,
I just remember even when season 3 came around and Daenerys had Sir Barristan come in. When that was the first time that was airing. I didn't remember that character from the first season.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to catch up, but so far, it's a great show. It's definitely a good conversation starter. And stuff. I find myself mostly times when you're talking to people, it's always about TV shows. It's not about much movies. But now with my group, a circle of friends, and my social media following and stuff like that, it's always Asian Americans. So it's great that something like Crazy Rich Asian just came out recently, last year. That's opening the doors for a few people.
That's good.
Yeah, man. And it shouldn't be after 25 years.
That, and for me, like, I watched it and like I understand the significance culturally.
Yeah.
But I go into movies completely objective. I didn't really like it. I'm sorry. I don't know if that makes me racist, but
No, I mean, it's definitely not for everyone. It's definitely a rom-com.
Yeah, and I don't like rom-coms.
Yeah, but you gotta look at this. It was a decent popcorn flick. And if you don't know, I don't know him personally, but from his background, John Chu, he doesn't have a great track record when it comes to directing films. Like, I think the last one he did was Gem and Holograms. I think you were too young for that.
And I remember Spill reviewing that and hating it.
Yeah, but it's based on the 80 cartoons.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it with my sister because she used to watch it a lot. So it's totally different. And it didn't work out in the box office. So, for coming back from a bad film to do something like a big hit in America, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
So, everyone was praising for John's work and also what he's been doing for the community, and what really touched me about it was, even though it wasn't a great movie, but it wasn't a bad movie. It was just a good fill in popcorn seats, to be nostalgia and also to feel part of something that we've been missing in the industry for quite some time.
Yeah.
But what really got me was when kids younger than me start bringing their family to watch this film, and Chinese parents or any Asian parents, they do not go to see movies. They just rather watch YouTube or stream. They're not going to waste, $16, $18 per ticket, not including popcorns and soda.
It's so expensive.
It is. So, but for them to come out to see a movie like that with their kids, I was like, that's, really endearing. And I wish I could drag my family out to see, whatever Asian American movie that came out.
Yeah.
But it's good, it's slowly opening doors, but it's not getting better. But definitely I see that with our colleagues that opportunities are opening up for certain people, and it's great. Hopefully one day I can get that seat.
Yeah. Well, maybe that new Marvel one, even though it looks really racist, like the guy, I'd never heard of that character before that movie got announced. And then I looked it up. I was like, his father's name is actually Fu Manchu. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, don't get me started with that. But since you brought it up, I mean, like, I'm rooting for when Crazy Rich Asian came out, people thought, some, not all, say, oh, that's your Black Panther movie. Like, no, it's not.
No,
it's not. It's just a family-oriented. How can that be our Black Panther film?
No, it doesn't really.
Yeah.
It honestly, watching it, it felt pretty American. Like, it wasn't hard to relate to me.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, like, anyone who has a family, could relate to that.
Which is actually good because they weren't going so far in that an American audience will get lost.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, and the main theme of Crazy Rich Asian was basically, people don't know, it's Chinese versus Chinese Americans, because the film is about Chinese people. So some people think, oh, Asians are all the same. Like, no, there's Koreans, there's Indians, there's Filipinos, Japanese, but as Asian Americans, me, Chinese American, it's hard to assimilate ourselves as in the Chinese culture. I mean,
Yeah.
we're Chinese, but we don't live there. We don't know their culture wise. I mean, for God's sakes, they pay everything for their phones. They don't even believe hard currency no more. It's just a tap on the phone.
Well, we're gonna get there one day too.
Yeah. So I'm saying culturally it's slightly different.
Yeah.
But going back to Shang-Chi or something,
Shang-Chi, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Marvel's taking the opportunity to produce something like that for us Asian American art, but I don't think the character fits us because it is a bit stereotypical.
Yeah.
And also comes from, his father's Fu Manchu.
Yeah.
I mean,
I couldn't believe that was actually the name.
Yeah. I mean, look, how many times people's gonna bow to us when the action, like, you know how cool it is, like, everyone's, like, doing the Wakanda sign?
Yeah.
When that movie comes out, what are they gonna do? Like, bow to us or do, like, wow?
And that's more of a Japanese thing. It's not even necessarily a Chinese thing.
Is
it?
Somewhat. They don't bow. I think they do. I mean, with martial art, I think they do with their hands mostly.
Okay.
I mean, closest thing I ever see that is Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah.
I just want something like unique and different and humanized.
And it's neutral. It's not overdoing it with look, we're making a movie about Asians. Because that's what some of these feel like. Yeah. And I mean, hopefully it does well. Hopefully it portrays us positively. So we'll see. But for now, I'm very skeptical about it. I wish they got somewhere else. And that's a problem with not just Marvel, but with pop culture and especially in comic book industry. They don't take on new writers and artists tasked to make new characters. Yep. They're always reamping or remaking something. It's like there is a Chinese Superman. If you watch the origin or read the books, there is a Chinese Superman. But I'd rather see or read about a character differently. How he grew up. But they don't get the opportunity to write new characters. Not just for minorities, but also for females. Yeah. There's a lot of recycling for female. I'm sorry, I was checking because I started weird.
But there's also been on huge recycling of female characters, fans or geeks should know, Captain Marvel was originally Miss Marvel.
It was originally a dude.
Yeah, it was, but the point is this: they're never giving an opportunity to write something new and creative and refreshing, and I like to see that. And it doesn't have to be Asians. I want to see black, white, Hispanic, something just new. I think they just announced on I don't know where, but they just announced new Filipino heroine, and that's great. From what I saw from the picture, she looks like Tinkerbell, but I think it's kind of cool to see that changes are being made, writing new characters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering what kind of impact Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse had, because that was fantastic. Oh, I mean, it was so refreshing. I saw that. Yeah. I saw that with a friend of mine, and I didn't look at it black or white. I just look at it like it was a good origin story. It dealt with family. It dealt with struggle as a teenager. It was mostly a teenager movie. It's for the first time he's getting puberty. Yeah, but they did a good job of integrating the fact that there is that black culture in it, but it wasn't obnoxious. It didn't feel like they were trying. It felt natural. Yeah, and that's the main thing. I think people forget about that, filmmakers and the studios. Just keep it natural, and people want to see more of it. But yeah, Into the Spider-Verse was just very amazing. It was so much subculture in this, pop culture involved, and the animation was just totally different. Yeah. I was like Corey, and I didn't like I didn't like it when I first saw the trailer. Yeah. But then as it came out more, I was like, oh yeah, this is amazing. Well, first, Corey is a mutual friend of ours, Oh yeah, we should probably tell them how we met. Yeah. It was a fateful night. It was rainy. Yeah. He was very tender with me. Well, you and I, they don't exist anymore. Well, that company, but Corey runs. He used to run Spill. Corey Coleman. Yeah, Spill.com, and I love this podcast because it was just a
very, again, going back to natural conversation,
Yeah.
humanistic, and also he relates to his fans.
Yeah.
And it was just a great podcast to listen to while I'm editing, stuff like that. So finally, when he came to New York, I think I don't know if this was the first night or second night. I think it might be the second night, but that's where we met.
Yeah. I was actually the one that emailed him asking if he was doing it. Yeah, because I saw him put up that he was coming to New York, and I quickly emailed. It's like, are you doing a meetup?
Yeah,
and he's like, you want me to? And I was like, yeah.
I mean, for those who don't know, Spill, you can't find it, but he does operate Double Toasted.
Yeah.
I'm a fan, but a friend of his, and I wish him really well, and he does great work with his team. But yeah, I think that night it was just Corey himself, and I think you introduced yourself with a bunch of his fans, and I'm a little bit of a geek, but not that much of a geek with pop culture. So there was like a lot of geeks around and talking about movies and stuff. I just want to meet the man himself because the guy had a real charisma about him.
Oh yeah.
So I think you and I talked about film, and then you introduced yourself as a film composer.
Yeah.
And going back to networking, you're gonna meet some people who's gonna blow smoke up their ass. Just like, yeah, I'm this and that. Like, are you really? Can you really sing? Can you really direct? Can you really edit? And it was so loud, but I heard your sample. I was like, yeah, sure, Mike. Yeah, I'll check you out. Gave you the earbuds back, but I did check out your website.
Yeah.
And I did incorporate this song of yours. I don't think you have. What was the title of that song for the trailer that you called it? Do you even have a name?
Oh, for the Love Express?
Yeah.
I think it was just a whatever, like, bullshit title. Or I wrote it off of, like, the actual synth name. Like, because I was just experimenting with the synthesizer. I was like, And
you did a great job.
Yeah.
And I think I toyed around with it with the trailer because we were getting ready for launching our first Kickstarter campaign, myself and in Match. And then I think I contacted you, say, hey, listen, would you want to continue this? This is like my second or third short film, but more seriously. I was thinking about taking it to festivals, launching my Kickstarter. So it was a lot of work, And then I think you agreed, and I think from there we worked it out. I mean, I think you were waiting for me to have a final cut of the film, and from there I think
you guys were still editing a little bit while I was writing, which was a little frustrating.
No, it was because it was.
So I had to rejigger some stuff.
Yeah, and then you're very patient. Thank you, because
well, it was my first film. I couldn't be like, bitch, stop fucking with it.
It was that film itself was a definitely hard challenge because you want to keep the B-roll, like the third character. If you watch the film, it's on Vimeo. Just look for Love Express.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, it's really hard because the third character is actually the subway, because the film's about a couple meeting on the subway on the 7 train, and I shot a lot of footage. So I was like, what to keep, what not to keep. But I think what you got the cut was maybe 95% done.
Yeah.
And we were still editing it, coloring it. We were still coloring it. But as the picture lock, it was pretty much picture lock. And stuff.
Yeah, your edits weren't like horrible, and they were actually like the re-edits that you did were like from scene to scene, so it didn't interrupt the music that bad.
Yeah. I mean, it was a learning process. I mean, I think that was probably one of my serious projects that I did, and I wrote it, directed, produced it. I even shot it because shooting in the subway is kind of hard and a little bit illegal if you don't have the proper paperwork.
Yeah, didn't you flash your expired student ID to somebody?
Yes, because we were doing sound. At that time, we picture locked was in, so we were doing ambient sound. So my friend Jerry and I, we were recording sound, and I needed him to watch for undercover cops or stuff like that. So we were capturing some sound on the train tracks. So we opened the doors. Technically, you're not supposed to do that. And then boom, you can't. I mean, it's been illegal for a long time, but
it's so stupid.
But we weren't riding between trains. We were just opening the door and just shoved the mic outside just to capture like just 1 minute snippet, and then boom, the cops came. And I was like, Jerry, what the fuck? Did you not look out for cops? Do you even know what cops look like? And he was the one saying, no, get it done. There's no cops here. I was like, you sure? Yeah, yeah. I was like, all right. Did it. Boom. Cops like, you. Step outside. I'm like, fuck.
So note to self, if you're pulling a heist, Jerry is not the point man.
No, he's not. He's not. I mean, bless his soul. He's a great guy. But, yeah, like, I learned, I always have a student ID. It does help a little bit because, police officers, they're not that bad, but if they know that you're, like, a film student, it helps a little bit. I mean, we weren't doing anything illegal, things like that. They saw, I mean, Jerry looks like he's 12.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're shitting on Jerry right now, so sorry.
Yeah. I mean, he does look like he's 12, so
he
they looked at me and him, like, all right, they're probably in school and stuff. But that was roughly 2014, 2013, so it wasn't that long ago, But yeah, it helped a lot. I think I had 2 incidents with the cops shooting that film, and one crazy guy, he didn't want to be captured on film, but we didn't shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
He assumed.
Yeah.
I tried to grab my camera. I was like, dude, don't touch my camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great learning experience. I think it did test me as a filmmaker. I met you along the line. Mm-hmm. And I think from there, we got to film festivals. My network expanded from there. And after that, we worked on our second project, Underneath the Gray.
Yeah.
That was more challenge. That was a 72-hour shootout.
Yeah, I've only ever done that one. And one other one. That other one was stressful.
Yeah.
Like, I had, I was still living in New Jersey at the time, and I actually came out to Brooklyn, mm-hmm. brought all my gear, mm-hmm. like the portable version of my gear.
Oh yeah, the one you wrote with Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I wrote all of the music in 3 hours for that film.
You should get Shannon on this on board.
I'll definitely get. Is he back in New York now?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, then I'll definitely get him.
Yeah. I mean, for those who doesn't know the 72-hour shootout, I mean, I don't know what it's called now, but it's called the Film Lab, or it used to be called Asian American Film Lab, where they give you a theme on Friday night, and then you're supposed to write, direct, shoot everything, cast your actors, within 72 hours. Given that I did it 3 times, I knew my schedule was like, write it. Well, I did prep for it for quite some time. Prep for a month. I did my casting already. I got a company to co-produce with me at Maze, and Shannon and I kind of like draw out the outline. Like, this is the story we want to keep. So when we got the theme, we worked around it. So once the theme came out, then we had to write the script, fresh, and it was tough. Like, I think we wrote from like 8 to 2 in the morning, and the call time was at 7:30, 8 in the morning the next day in Harlem. And then we shot there. And then after that, we shot Harlem. And I think we went all the way down to Woodside, Queens, which I'm originally from. Shot a restaurant scene. And then we had to go all the way to Times Square. And we reached Times Square like around 1 a.m., which is pretty good. It's desolate, no crowded, no cops. And we shot the ending scene there. And then the next day we edited, and I was like, hey Mike, we picture locked it. Because with 72 hours and Love Express and all the films I did, I could edit fast. Yeah. And I was like, hey Mike, here you go.
Well, I didn't even, with that one, I pre-wrote that like 2 weeks before.
Yeah, because, granted, because of Love Express, I trusted your taste. And
yeah.
I told you like, hey, just write something romantic, and I trust you, we'll work around it. I think in this business, you have to get some trust.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Get some trust, and also just appreciate people's time. And I think what you produced was great, and then we actually worked around the edit with your music, especially with the hand scene when Mike is touching the fence. That was beautiful, and
yeah, it was pretty cool to watch it after the fact, because I was like, oh, I can't believe this actually worked. It was like I had like the very basic idea of what you had in your mind.
Yeah.
A blind guy that saw color from touching stuff.
Yeah, because 72 hours, you don't know what you have, but the theme worked. The theme was, what was it? The color
of your hair or something.
Color of my hair. And our producer, Bing Chow, she said, why not gray hair? I was like, that's so true, because you're blonde. I'm black hair, whatever, you know, dark brown hair.
Yeah.
But when we reach a certain age, it's gonna be gray.
Yeah.
We're the same people, you know, same genetics. It's gonna be gray. So we worked around that. But I think our main story was just Asian man and a black woman falling in love together. You know, I think interracial is very important. Interracial stories are very important to tell.
Yeah, and that's a combo that's you never see that.
Yeah.
Like the only time I can think of is what was that one with Jet Li?
Oh, Romeo Must Die.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
No, there were. I mean, did you know there was a deleted scene of them? I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong. At them kissing, there was a scene of that.
Did they not even kiss in that movie? I haven't seen it in like years.
No, that was the whole time. It's like,
how dare you?
Because you know every Asian American boy or male at that time. I forgot how long the movie was. Like early 2000s.
That was like 99.
No, really?
Yeah, 2000 or 99.
No,
somewhere.
I'm sure it was a little later. No way. It was post Matrix.
Really?
Yeah, it's post Matrix.
Okay, so that would be that same time frame.
Yeah. So when all my friends who saw it, especially now the actors, they're rooting for Jet Li to like, oh, please get a kiss because it's titled Romeo Must Die. So Aaliyah was Juliet, he was Romeo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why didn't he kiss? And that's the whole controversial. And no one had Twitter. Twitter did not exist at that time, so people were upset. You know.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't seen that movie in like 15, more than that years. I don't know.
I mean, it's funny. I saw more physical action between Jet Li and Aaliyah in that music video that she produced than the fucking film itself.
I remember the video more than the movie.
Yeah, I mean, she was beautiful and he was charismatic in the music video. It was great that they both danced. It was very sick, man. I was like, why can't he put that in the film? You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Asian men especially get shortchanged really bad.
Yeah. And I see why like a lot of Asian models and Asian actors are trying to represent like the masculinity. I get it, but you know, it is what it is on social media. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean that project Underneath the Gray, it was great working with Michael. He's Filipino and Tia, she's African American.
That was another Michael, not me.
Yeah, Michael wrote
I am not Filipino.
Yeah. It's great. I still talk to him to this day, and stuff like that. And it's funny, I had to change my way of thinking as a producer. I was like, hey, why not submit to the Black Film Festival? Or why not?
Yeah.
You know, just to show that. And it worked. The Black community praised on it. There's a 5-minute version on YouTube, which they can find, Underneath the Gray. And if you see the comments, people were rooting it for it. Like, oh my God, Black woman too. Saying, I love to see this as a feature film. This is romantic, cute. And that was my intention, to broaden the audience, you know, to bring it together. My focus is not just Asian Americans, but any, minorities or, people of color, and women, because it's our job to tell good stories, I mean, I grew up watching women films. Like, if you think about it, Aliens.
Yeah. Keep going.
Ripley. Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
I mean, those are like the original action hero female that kicked ass.
Well, my view is it's Princess Leia for sure. She was really the first one.
Yeah, she is, but you don't get that until like.
No, you get it in the first movie.
She busts out the.
She's showing up the boys, right?
Yeah. But I mean, she definitely stood up as a leading lady in command, especially in episode 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always keep thinking part 2, but that's actually episode 5.
We don't talk about 2.
That's when you see her like taking charge as a commander. Like she's in charge of the rebellion, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, seeing Ripley in that forklifter, the mechanical thing. Yeah. Because my dad took me to see that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 9. Like, why would you take a kid 9 years old to see aliens? And, chest busters. I mean, like, I was haunted forever. I was like, oh my God, what are you taking me to see?
Yeah.
But when that third act came, I'm like, wow, this kicks ass.
Yeah.
And I still like that movie. I could always rewatch it because the story evolves around Ripley, and just to see her character arc is amazing. Like, the writing in that film, what James Cameron did was just inspiring. And for those who haven't seen it, I would definitely watch the movie and then watch the documentary Terry of Behind the Scene on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, the struggle of him as a filmmaker.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Especially as a composer, James Horner
Yeah, did not.
actually like said he would never work with James Cameron again after doing that movie, and then he did like every other movie for him after that.
Yeah, because
he did Titanic and Avatar, and sadly he's passed.
Yeah, it is. Because the whole point is like this. There is a disbelief with new filmmakers. You know, I'm sure you were skeptical, like when we did Love Express. Like, can this guy pull off? Will he help me out?
No, that was my first movie, so I wasn't even thinking about that.
No, and I'm glad that you did. Thank you, man. But both my actors were very skeptical because they were like, I was kind of new. They're like, does he know what he's doing? And when they see the final product, and going back to James Cameron and James Horner, when you see the final product, people are like, oh my god, this guy or this girl has a talent. You know, they have a vision they can put together. Because, long story short, none of the cast and crew knew what a big blockbuster Aliens would have been.
Yeah.
But when they saw it, they're like, holy shit, this is going to be big.
Well, I would think so a little bit because Alien was successful.
Yeah, but at that time, remember 80s, like there wasn't much sequels at that time. You know, it was really, really
That's
rare.
where all the movies that got sequels came.
No, technically, it's actually, I think it was Rocky 2 that started the sequels. I think. Don't get me wrong, but I think it might have been.
I don't know what year that came out. I would think Empire Strikes Back because that came out in 80.
I think, yeah, maybe right. I mean, there's so many Rocky movies. But, you know, going back and also, like, because we worked together and it was my job as a producer to make sure the cast and crew was taken care of, and you won, you know, best composer for that year or for that quarter summer, you know.
Yeah. Well, then I got onto the finals, I think.
Yeah, and I wanted to get you actually beat people who had like a huge like studio space, like millions of dollar equipment, like.
It just goes to show that studio space is bullshit.
But I mean, like, you compose something fantastic and nostalgia. I think that's the main thing.
Thank you.
Like, it doesn't take expensive toys to make a good movie. It's just a good idea, good collaboration. That's it, man.
Yep.
You know, and I was very proud of you that you got it. You know.
Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, man.
I haven't won anything since though.
Oh, well, I mean, like, I won one award after that, but most of my short films has been selected in numerous festivals.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to San Francisco, I went to LA, you know, experienced the whole Hollywood scene and the community there, stuff like that. It's a definitely great learning process, and my network has been getting better at it, and I'm deeply humble and thankful to the people that connect me, especially Celia. She'd be like, "Oh, meet this person."
Yeah, Celia's like, we have a friend Celia Au who I'm gonna try to get on here, but that girl is so busy. I don't know how it's even possible.
Yeah, I mean, someone like that really inspires me and shows great leadership. You know, like every time I see her networking, I try to remember what she says and what she does.
Well, she just, you know, I don't think she even tries. It's like...
No, I mean, it's a lot of work, bro. I mean, to remember names, to get everything organized, to get people together, it's really hard. And there's like a few people who just, you can tell the bullshit. Like, you can smell what do you want? Yeah,
I had this experience back maybe a year ago, a year and a half. I was at a networking event, and I wound up talking to these two actors, and which for me, I'm a composer. Me and actors, like as soon as we meet, we're like, okay, because we don't really need to talk to each other. It's good to know people regardless, but
no, I'll stop. I mean, I'll stop you there. I mean, I thought that way too.
Yeah.
You might, because now everything's changing the game.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be a filmmaker. You can be actor, because a lot of actors are filmmakers.
Yeah.
They are categorized as filmmakers.
But what I was getting to with that story, like, we all knew that we were just kind of getting through the conversation so we could move on to the next person. But I felt this energy from them that was weird. They were like, I would say something and they'd start laughing, but it was this like
Fake laugh.
It was like,
Yeah.
and like the girl would she'd be like laughing, make eye contact with the guy, and look back at me. It was like this really like, it felt like I was in like a surrealist movie. Like I felt like I was in like I don't know, like a Lynch film. Because that's what their acting felt like in that moment. It felt like I was in a scene from a Lynch film.
I mean, you gotta think of it like networking is kind of like speed dating. You meet the people like wherever you can within that short amount of time, without trying to like impose yourself to them or plug yourself so hard. But going back to like someone like Celia and stuff like that, it's really hard. It's definitely finesse.
Yeah,
and I learned that a lot from her by watching her and watching other colleagues. And meeting actors, you'd be surprised because they turn to be filmmakers eventually.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can probably get introduced. Like I met one of my dear friends, Shane, and because of him, he was the first domino, like the domino effect. Like I met Shane, Celia, Will, blah, 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 Jay. And then it just became, throughout, my course, I just kept meeting like a lot of actors, filmmakers, because of this one guy who accepted me in the circle and trusted me, I'm sure you met a lot of people through me, Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So. Probably my whole network. Yeah.
Yeah. And it helps to, like, once you get yourself credibility, people's gonna look at it. People's gonna search your name on IMDb.
Yeah.
And that's why I actually, like, you gotta add a J in it, because there's so many Mike Kellys out there.
Yeah. And even so, it's still awkward. Yeah. Like, my website is Mike J. Kelly Film Composer. It sucks. Yeah. There's some times where I'm like, I should have just called myself James Kelly.
Or just put, like, MJK Composer, whatever, whatever works.
I didn't come up with that until I started an Instagram, which is much better.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of that, Instagram and URLs, finding a brand and finding a name that's universal is hard. Because, I mean, I go by Chen Xi Hao, my Chinese name, because, in Mandarin, because Patrick Chen, you Google it, Patrick Chen with an A, the Canadian Asian ice skater pops up. So that's why I was like, do I want to be associated with that? Because Google doesn't know between a Chan and a Chen. So I was like, let me just do like, my surname and see how that works. Twitter, I got it. Facebook, I got it. But not Instagram. I was like, fuck. I want that.
What are you on Instagram?
Patmander.
Oh, yeah.
That's like my video game, whatever handler. And I was like, can I get Chen Xi Hao back? And couldn't get it. It's really tough. So branding is important, and I like to see you expand yourself through that. I think you definitely have a good way of thinking and talent,
Yeah, I've started to really embrace my metal roots in, like, through my film composing, because I always kind of kept it separate, but now I'm leaning into it because I think it sets me apart a little bit as a film composer, that I have that background and I'm so steeped in that culture.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's good to have, different variety. I think metal is definitely... I mean, I grew up listening to Stone Temple Pilot, Nirvana as a kid. But you know what I'm saying? But my best friend, he used to, like... Oh, what's the band? He used to lift, like, a lot of heavy metal. I can't remember the name, but definitely Metallica, that's one of them. But because of him, I was able to get a little snippet of that music and stuff. And you need to be, open-minded about things. Because everything's like electronic. Everything sounds like the same. Yeah.
Well, the movie I'm doing that's coming up, that one is going to be more of like a... He wants me to do like a Blade Runner kind of feel. But he wants me to bring... What?
1 or 2. Blade Runner 1 or Blade Runner 2 feel.
He didn't really say it. Was just... He just wanted a sci-fi electronic kind of feel.
Yeah.
So, but he actually specifically asked me to do guitar. Add some of that rock sound. Which I'm normally... When I do films, I try to avoid because I think there's a fine line between cool adding guitar and making it sound really cheesy. Yeah. I
mean, if you watch some of some Hong Kong films, especially the gangster films, like in the 90s, they definitely have a lot of guitar influence.
Well, like, anime has it all the time, but it works in anime.
Yeah.
Whereas it's much harder in live action because it's so upfront.
Yeah.
Whereas in live action, the music tends to be subdued.
Yeah.
So when you start bringing in those metal elements, they take over.
Mm-hmm.
And it can make a film come across kind of childish if you're not careful.
And that's the thing. Like, is it hard collaborating with people with different tastes? And, meaning, like, with this person, did he come aboard and like, I want Blade Runner, or he have to give you a sample?
For me, not really, because I work in so many different genres.
Yeah.
It's not hard for me to work in something else.
Mm-hmm.
Except Celia has a project coming. I don't know if she's still working on it, but she wanted me to do this K-pop musical. And so that's difficult for me because that's a genre I just don't listen to. So we did one song. I didn't write it. Her co-writer wrote it, and then I just kind of produced it after. I was considering I have no expertise in that genre. I was content with what I put out, but that was definitely awkward.
I mean, some of my friends told me like, "Hey, just give it a try." Because like I think the one I did before Love Express, Welcome Home, I didn't write it, and stuff like that. I definitely helped co-produce it and direct it, but Shannon wrote it. Yeah, Shannon. Shannon wrote it with the actors. It was like an LGBT film, something I'm not too familiar with, and it was very dark. I'm very simple. I'd keep it romantic, or boy girl meets whatever.
Yeah.
But for them, they try to do like a totally 180 spin on it, and at first I was worried about the storyline. It was for the 72-hour shootout.
Yeah.
My second year. The one we did was my third year.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. You just gotta give it trust, because let it go, and something might come up,
Yeah.
So going back to the K-pop, you might never know. It's not in your comfort zone, but it'll challenge you.
I enjoyed experimenting with it, and if she ever continues with that, oh no, what the hell? Video problems. This is not good. I have to distract while I try to fix this, but you might only be getting a half a video. Sorry.
It just popped up now. I've been watching it.
I think I just said my password. I'm gonna have to delete that. What the fuck?
That's funny, man. The Facebook thing that happened recently, that was hysterical. Everyone thought they got hacked.
Oh yeah, that was annoying that day.
Yeah.
Please tell me it's still recording. Oh, it should, because this is just a monitor. That's a problem. I don't know why it timed me out though. Okay. Oh crap!
What?
I closed that app. Okay, so sorry to the people about the video. The video got cut off. It probably ran out of room.
Yeah.
It was an experiment.
No, I mean, if you want to continue talking, I don't mind.
No, we'll continue talking. I just, I don't know how far. I guess we're 45 minutes in. I was timing it on there because I started the audio at a weird spot. Let me see. We'll just go until we get sick of each other. Just let it go. I don't know what the time is now. Actually, I calculate it. Okay, so we got about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah. I'm in no rush. I got wait out for rush hour.
It's not that big a deal. Anyway.
Yeah.
If we go over.
Yeah. Okay.
So what were you saying? I don't know. So, well, now that we've had a disruption, let's get into. So the other reason I started this podcast was for for mainly for people who are just starting to get into it, and they probably got a lot out of our conversation already because you were my first director, so they're probably getting some good insight off of that already. But I named it Impostor Syndrome because it's very easy to get that
Yeah.
early on in their career. And even people that are established get it all the time.
Okay.
It's like that feeling like, okay, they're going to find out I'm a hack. Or like, I'm not really capable of doing this. Like, every time I get a film, I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this.
No, that's called being a human being, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like, everyone's self-conscious
Yeah.
and self-esteem about themselves. Like, I've been through that all the time. Like, me personally, I do not like to watch my films during at the screeners or at the festivals. I just step out because the more you sit down and look at it, you get judged a lot. I should have shot here. I should cut here. Oh, how come I didn't direct this actor to be this way? It's a whole self-conscious kind of thing, dude. It's really tough to get that out of your system. But I think if people recognize you're doing good work and you're actually giving meaning to it, I think that's more important.
Yeah.
I think my work, I definitely feel like a hack. I was just like, well, do I deserve this? I mean, it's tough because, I want to help out the community, especially the Chinese American, but there's not enough time. People got to survive. People got day jobs. People are working on the next project just to get the ball rolling. Do I want to come and protest against gentrification? Yeah, but do I have time to be there? No.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like being a full-time activist like that. Because like there's some people that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
I mean, that might be trust fund babies. Who knows?
Yeah, I always wonder where are they getting this money.
But yeah, man. I mean, but to hear people compliment your work, because even some colleagues of mine, or I've seen some people, like when the film is bad, they just like, oh, good work, yeah, okay, that means it's bad. But if people's like, oh my god, I love that shot, they get into detail about it.
Yeah,
that's when you did a good job. Like the last two films I did, the last tip, some people came up to me and said, oh my god, it's very nostalgia. Oh my god, I ate that restaurant with my dad. I can't believe you captured it. That essence of it is so nostalgic. And I was like, oh, mission accomplished. But if people come up to you, hey, good job, Don. Yeah, that's good. And they walk away.
Yeah.
Did not do a good job.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. I mean, I saw this film. I'm not going to say names, but I won't name drop. But I saw this film, black and white. I thought the theme was good. I thought the message was good. But the third act on that short film, I was like, yo, what happened? Why did you change characters? Why is that actress playing that person and not the main role that you set her up for? You totally just ruined the whole meaning behind it. And I thought that film definitely had potential. It's just that last 2 minutes. And I didn't want to say it to him because I heard he was going through a rough patch with his family and stuff like that. But I definitely praise him for doing that work because it's not easy putting a film together.
No.
Yeah, it's not easy to manage people because a lot of people have egos. And, have you dealt with that?
Not directly, because usually I'm coming in like as a subordinate. So like, and I'm only really dealing with the director. So I haven't had too many ego clashes, but I had one where it was not me. It was the director had an issue with their actor. And it derailed the whole film because that was for a competition. And we were it was coming up tight with the filming. And there was some drama with the actress where the actress thought the director was talking shit about her. She wasn't, but whatever. And then dropped off. Yeah, she dropped off and it threw all of the shooting off. She had to recast it and then re-edit certain scenes so it looked like it was a different actress or it was the same actress, but they were totally different. Like the one girl was like a couple shades paler than the other, but it worked out in the end. We got it. But I mean, that one little thing, that little ego problem, messed up that whole film.
Yeah.
Like, again, we got it done, and I actually am happy with how it came out.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the movie, on my computer to work on until, 3 hours, not even, an hour before it was due. Like we had to upload it. But I co-wrote that film. Like I co-wrote the script. So I knew the script and I had already kind of pre-written music.
Yo, send me a private screener. I'll take a look at it. I'd love to see it.
I'll see it. I'll have to contact her.
Yeah, don't say the name, but just let me see the screener.
Yeah, I'll contact her because, I mean, I technically have it on here. I would have to put it together myself. But I can do that. Yeah, so I had an hour to stitch stuff that I had already written for footage that I hadn't seen. Where half of it was footage I hadn't seen. I got it done, but I was panicking.
I mean, that's why it's the same thing as a 2-hour shootout.
Yeah.
I stopped after the third year. It was just something I couldn't keep up with anymore. I did have a couple of people approach me like, "Hey, you want to direct?" I'm like, "No, I enjoy sleep."
Yeah.
You know, I think I did my job. I definitely continue to cause. I tell people or I advise people, "Hey, you know, do the 2-hour shootout. It's a good exercise."
I would recommend. Yeah, I think anybody who's starting out should definitely do that because that shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like even on a professional shoot, movies like, I mean, I think again back to Star Wars. The audience is gonna be pissed because the last podcast, me and the guy were talking about Star Wars the whole time. But Rogue One, that one, I think was originally Alexander Desplat was originally doing the score. Then they had reshoots issues that delayed the movie quite a bit, and he wound up not being able to do it. So they brought in Michael Giacchino like last minute. I think he had 2 weeks to do the score to that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's not my favorite Star Wars score ever, of course. But I also know that he had 2 weeks to do it. So, and it was pretty good. Like, it wasn't a bad score by any means. He did a great job.
Yeah.
And he only had 2 weeks.
I mean, some people work great under pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, plus, you know, now the stars, it's under Disney. I mean, like, they have all the resources and money. So 2 weeks is just nothing. It's just nothing. Yeah. Like, shooting you know, as a minority, shooting a feature film in 2 weeks, that's common, you know? Yeah. Like, I hear that all the time. I'm like, hey, that's a good film. How long did it take you to shoot? 2 weeks, a month.
Well, it depends on what kind of you do. Like, a film like what you do, like your style, that seems easy to do. Because
I learned from...
If you had the money.
No, well, I learned from what Robert Rodriguez said. Shoot what you have.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Kevin Smith mentioned that in his autobiography book about Robert Rodriguez. And it's true. You know, like, I know actors. I have a restaurant, or not me personally, like I know a restaurant to shoot. Sorry. Or I have a guitar or something. Just put those three together and then boom, you got a short film. Or any film. You know? You just shoot what you have. People just go too crazy. I'm like, why are you going crazy for?
Yeah, they get too into details.
Yeah, I come from a writing background from Hunter College, and one of my professors said, KISS. I'm like, what's KISS? Keep it simple, stupid. And
yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I always keep that in my mind. Keep it simple.
Yeah. And
now it's kind of tough to write a feature because you can't keep it simple. You have to tell the story, execute it. Yeah. But yeah, man. I think that filmmaker that you worked on, I think that person should have done more research on the actress or actor.
Well, I don't know all the details, but she was really great to work with. Like
the filmmaker?
Yeah.
Okay.
We as far as my time working with her.
Yeah.
Like we had a great working relationship.
No, I'm not saying that person's a bad or good film. I'm just saying when it comes to when you're in any field, do your research.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you're working for the next filmmaker or next director, you're gonna IMDb that person, check their reel.
Not really.
Not you should.
I honestly, I don't care. For me, I will just take work and deal with whatever comes.
Nah, you should, Mike, because sometimes I hear stories like where people just work and the project just fell through or just never been shown. You got to
if it's an issue where like they're going out of the way to not pay me, that's one thing. But like, I don't. I generally just kind of go with the flow, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I mean, bless your soul for thinking that. But I always do my research because you know, everyone everyone's trying to be an actor or try to be in
Yeah.
some kind of industry field, and you gotta do research. You know, I always check their reels. I always check their your samples on SoundCloud
Yeah.
or whatever. You gotta do that, man, because
Well, I think it's different because for you, you're hiring somebody. I'm the hiree, so
but you have
it
but you
doesn't
still-
matter as much.
No, but still, it's your name, it's your brand.
Yeah.
Everyone gotta keep thinking that that's your name on it attached. You gotta make sure that it's not gonna be tarnished. You gotta make sure that, well, you know, let's say you have a good track record, and all of a sudden this flops. You're like, what the fuck? You know, you don't want that and stuff. Unless the money's really good, who cares?
It's funny. That doesn't concern me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really because I just like doing it. I like doing the work. So I'll pretty much, unless the director's like just the biggest asshole ever, I'm just happy to work.
Mm.
Like, I just don't think that much about that.
Mm.
It would have to be. I've never had to like turn a director down. I'm pretty much like, and maybe I'm just not established enough that I can vet.
Yeah.
Like, really vet. Like, it's not something I'm concerned with. I don't care how well a film does.
Well, I'm not established myself, but it's just you got to make sure that it's working with the right people because it's your time. If it's not money, it's your time.
Yeah.
Time is you can never get back.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Yeah, I heard some gruesome stories where, oh yeah, I just work on this project, but you know they pay me, but I never show them. It's like, all right, cool. How's the payment? It's like, oh, that's good. It was bad. You gotta know, like, it's worth your time, you know.
Yeah. Well, the way I look at that is it's experience.
Uh huh.
So.
But yeah, man, it's definitely tough. Because everyone wants to do something, man. I'm like, oh, really? You want to be this? Okay.
Yeah, they get too like, I'm gonna be the next Spielberg. It's like, no, you're not.
Not just filmmaking. It's just like, I want to be the next guru of something. Like, oh, the best foot massager or something. You're like, really?
Yeah, everybody wants to be like the best top dog, and that's such a dangerous line of thinking, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Because we live in the age of the internet.
Yeah.
There is a little kid in Indonesia that I don't care how good you are, that kid's better than you. And then there's a kid that's 5 years younger than him that's better than him in Africa.
Yeah, man, that's the thing, yeah. And a lot of people gotta think, going back to being just generous and nice about things, humble, you know? I mean, one bad mistake and people's gonna call you out.
Yeah.
You know? It shouldn't be like that, but people just want to voice themselves. People are angry these days, you know?
There's a lot of people fighting. I think there's been so many controversies in our industry lately with, you know, obviously with the Me Too movement, with as anything, I think people are cutthroat and they're looking for anything to get ahead over.
Yeah.
And they'll piggyback off of a cause, like, to show how righteous they are. You know, not really giving a shit about that actual cause.
Yeah.
To get ahead.
I mean, if you didn't do wrong to that person, then, you know, like, simmer down, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people are calling out, like, the Kevin Hart thing, you know? Oh,
I don't even know what that one is.
Oh, well,
I didn't look into it.
He called out that derogatory term for the LGBT community, you know, the F word. And but the thing is, it wasn't recently. It was just years ago.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think either that or he made a gay joke or something. Something inappropriate.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because, like, I don't use that word anymore myself. I used to use it all the time, not even thinking about it. Because I think the one thing we got to remember is times change. And
that's the thing. I give you credit because your mindset is changing.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you get that person like, hey, you know what? People forget that times was different then. Like the 90s, a lot of people were doing the N-word here left and right because, not the ER, the A. because it's a part of the hip hop culture. And
Yeah.
if you live in New York, all the young kids are saying it.
Really?
Yeah, you know.
Okay. I grew up in East Bumblefuck, so I didn't experience it.
Yeah, a lot of people said it in high school when I went to high school. You know.
White dudes?
I wouldn't say much white dudes, but a lot of Latinos, blacks, some Asians.
I think it's still like that.
No, it's still like
A
that.
lot of Latinos get away with that.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is like times were different. You got to step back and think like, why is that person saying that? Oh, because he grew up in that era. But if that person's having his mind changes, learned that it's not right or politically incorrect, then you give that person a chance.
Yeah, it's one thing if somebody gets really indignant about it, and it's like, oh, what does it matter? I was joking. Like they're too defensive about it. Like, just accept it. It's like things are different now.
Yeah, things are different and stuff. Like, I'm really rooting for, female content, like, the industry. But if it's something like Ghostbusters, the new one, the new female...
I didn't see it.
That's different because, hear me wrong, like I mentioned this to a female filmmaker, and she's like, now what are you going to say? Are you be sexist, misogynist about it? No, hear me out. I was like, hey, when the trailer came out for Ghostbusters, it stated, you can YouTube it, like, 15 years ago, there was this Ghostbuster gang, and now this... I was like, oh, shoot, it's going to be like a reamp.
Yeah.
But when the film came out, it's a remake. 3 white people recruiting a black person hunting ghosts. It's the same concept.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like their daughters or granddaughters or something, or
just new blood.
Yeah, new blood.
That's what I thought too. It's actually a remake?
Yes, it's completely remade.
Oh, okay.
The special effects are great. Some jokes, here and there it was funny, but people don't want to see a remake just because you added females.
Yeah, that's one of those times where like it's so obvious that the studio's just trying to take advantage, or like they're trying to show how virtuous they are. They're not being that genuine.
No, time is up. I mean, honestly, time is for them to get their voices out there. I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They definitely deserve it. But I'm saying for that particular project, even female fans of the original Ghostbusters, they were outraged because they knew it was going to be a remake. Like RoboCop. Who wants to see the black RoboCop? Because he was all decked out in black chrome. Remember?
No, it was blue.
No, it was blue, and then they changed to black, and they went back to blue again.
Okay.
The 2015 RoboCop.
Oh yeah, that one was black.
Yeah. So people don't want to see remakes just for, nostalgia. No, people want to see like, hey, if you're gonna do good, do it good.
Yeah.
And it goes back to like Aliens and Terminator. Would you want to see Sarah Connor as the father? No, people will be outraged. I don't want to see someone I grew up watching as a heroine becoming that because just to please people. Me is if it serves the story and it makes correct and it's also gives fair justice to people of color and gender, then I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jordan Peele, his new Twilight Zone, that looks amazing.
I keep forgetting to watch that.
It's not yet out yet. It's in April.
No, but there was a trailer for it, right?
And you see people of color everywhere, like woman, black cast, Asian cast. You're like, wow, because I grew up watching the original black and white Twilight Zone.
Yeah, me too.
But to see something re-amped and hopefully serve the story, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not shoving something on my ass. It's like, hey, watch this because we got people. Like, no, why? Because everyone's growing up, everyone's in interracial relationships, everyone, are changed, so it's definitely something we should look forward to, But this whole remake thing, and you're right about what you said, propaganda stuff, I'm done with that.
Yeah, there's times where the studio's obviously just trying to, show off. Like, they're not doing it out of a genuine gesture. Like,
I mean, it also goes back to like 90s B-rated movies, like the whole, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal. Like, there's a market for it. I get it.
Yeah.
And also when Jackie Chan came out, and then it blew up to Jet Li. When people know it, Donnie Yen's the new martial art hero now.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for the new, bank. I get it. But some of us wants to see and watch good stories, and that's what all matters. When people try to pitch me, yeah, I want to do this, and I'm like, what is it about? It's like, oh, it's about this Asian gang, you know, blah blah blah, laundering money. I'm like, really? Why? And as they progress the story, I'm like, seriously, like, how many times you want to see Chinese gangsters? Come on,
Yeah.
you know, can you write something different? And I'm really against stereotypical, especially Chinese or either the martial artists or Chinese gangsters.
Or it's a guy that's just completely emasculated, like
Yeah,
is, very weak, or the fact that he's Asian is the butt of the joke.
but that's the thing. If it's sort of a story, if he came out and all of a sudden he became a superhero, or he stood up for himself, then I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But if he's like the butt of the joke, like
he's the side character.
Yeah, like Hangover series, it gets a little annoying. But at the end, that actor Ken Jeong, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's actually helping the community. I see it on Twitter and social media. That's fine.
Well, and you can't fault somebody for taking a role.
Yeah, because of money. I get it. But it's our responsibility as a minority to serve good story, tell good story. Because if you don't, you're gonna fall into that category of putting your people down and stereotyping yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like Jordan Peele's Get Out. That was a fantastic psychological social justice film that keeps you thinking about, like, I get it. You know, get you thinking, like, why did he do that approach? Like that whole conversation, like, why is there one Asian guy in that party where everyone was white?
Yeah, that's right.
And the whole point was because that represents the new money. You know, the new like China, coming in with the new money. They're the next minority. They can kind of consider white. I don't completely agree with it.
Well,
but it's true. There's some truth to it.
There's a weirdness there, like especially with what happened with Harvard, where Harvard was.
Yeah.
They were actually rejecting Asian people because they got too good of grades. Like, that's this other weird racism.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that on Patrick Chen. I still don't get it, but I get it. People wants to get their kids into a good educational system, but sometimes it hurts us, and it does hurt us in the industry. Like, going back when we were talking, did you watch The Expanse?
No, everybody keeps saying too.
Yeah, I mean, like, going back to Star Wars, even Star Trek. God damn it, you hardly see any Asian people, even black people in those films and TV shows.
Not in Star Wars. He had Sulu in Star Trek at least.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, like this whole huge galaxy. You're telling me there's only one Asian or brother in this whole galaxy? It's ridiculous. But with The Expanse, I liked about one, tells a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I was like, holy shit, there is actually an Asian soldier, Asian captain, a black engineer, all this stuff like you would never see in films that we grew up in. And I was like, wow, this is something I'm encouraged to write and tell. I want to see that. Like Cowboy Bebop. I'm hoping that it will serve justice and not whitewash the characters. I don't know.
You know what, though? That is like the one anime where like you could actually get away with whitewashing because it's not strictly Japanese in where it's centered.
Well, not fake. Fake, definitely, with that name, that's definitely Asian.
Yeah, but like, as far as the rest of it, like, it's not like Ghost in the Shell where, like, that takes place in Tokyo.
Yeah.
But it's like, whereas with Cowboy Bebop, it's a space western, which is an American trope. So if you did, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
It's still, I think you should.
I mean, I just want to see something different.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want people to change it just to please the audience, but if it serves a story, going back, I don't want Jet to be something else. This, as long as it serves a story, because it is fine what it is. Like I was watching Altered Carbon, and the main character, supposedly he's supposed to be Asian, but the whole premise is basically it's the future, like 300, 5,000 years later, whatever, and people have the ability to body switch. Like we're like we wear USB disc and we can change bodies. So the original guy was Asian, but in the show he's white. I get it because it served the story.
Oh, okay.
And at first I was uncomfortable with the market. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't get this. But when I saw the season 1, like, oh, you know what?
Made sense.
It makes sense, you know? And it also opens opportunity, just like Doctor Who, to get new actors and refreshing to play this character. It could be white, it could be Asian, it could be black, Latino. That's interesting because then you see how can these people pull it off.
Yeah.
You know, I love Doctor Who, and it's great that it's a female now.
Yeah.
But
she was great. I was so excited when they announced her.
Yeah. But the thing is she good? You know, I think she
was great. I actually love her as the new Doctor.
Yeah, but I'm still waiting to see because David Tennant, it was more like he had such a range. Like he was sweet, angry. With this new Doctor, still it's the first season of her. I haven't seen that range of emotions yet.
Yeah, they kind of had her doing the same thing over and over.
That's the problem.
But Peter Capaldi was like that too. Most of the time, he was crotchety.
Yeah.
One thing this is just a funny thing I noticed with me when we were talking about Asian characters. What is it about animation that there's so many times recently where I found out a character in an animated show was Asian and I didn't know for years because they can't seem to get the animation right.
What do you mean?
Like Up. I didn't know that it was Asian. I didn't. I guess it's a hard thing to animate. Like when it's a character type of animation.
I get you. Rusty. I think Russell. Yeah, I know you're talking about Up. Russell, I didn't know he was Asian at first.
Yeah.
Until think the very end when they show the mom.
I didn't know it till years later. I don't even remember that.
And then it was so cute. This Asian kid dressed up as Rusty.
Oh yeah.
I mean Russell, and I was like, oh, that's cute. Yeah, it's tough. Even the whole thing with like the Dragon Ball Z movies.
Yeah.
That they did.
Well, that one.
Yeah, that one. And people don't even know like is Goku Asian or can he be white? I don't know. I just saw Alita too. Is she Asian? I don't know. But
I think that actress is Hispanic.
No, she's Latino. The actress, but I grew up reading the books. 10 years ago, I read the whole series. So I mean, with her, she did a great job. But then later, there wasn't much Asian American representation in the film.
Not at all.
Yeah, especially Lana Condor, which she's like blowing up. She had this one minor role in the whole film. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I can't even remember a single Asian in that movie.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame because I liked that movie.
Yeah. It was good, but like I told you, book 1 and 2 was fused together.
Yeah, and I hadn't read the book, so I didn't have that coloring my opinion. And I enjoyed it. Even though it was a little weird at the end, it worked. Yeah.
I mean, with that, something like, we want to see some like fresh faces and stuff. Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah. I'm sorry to put your name, but
I can never get it right.
Yeah, but he's a fantastic actor, and he played the villain super well.
Yeah.
And I watched him in True Detective season 3. Oh, it brings up it makes up for season 2 of True Detective.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never watched 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I only ever saw the 1.
So with the whole people of color, minorities kind of thing, we want to see new faces. It's just good and refreshing for the first time because when I have kids, I don't know, one day they're definitely gonna be Asian, or at least some Asian. I want to see representation.
It'd be weird if they weren't. I might have a problem there.
I mean, they could be black, white, whatever. But the thing is, I want them when they see TV or just media, I want them to see something they can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
This whole time when I grew up, I love watching film, but there was also something missing as I'm watching it. But every time I see an Asian background, like, oh my god, it's him. That dude, the sidekick, whatever. I'm always focused on that character, and I forget about, let's say Matt Damon or something walks away. There's something about that we need, and going back to Crazy Rich Asian, it's definitely great to see something like that because we need that, and I see why people were rooting for Black Panther to win the Oscars. Even though I don't read that Green Book should won, but
Wait, what did win?
Green Book.
Green Book did? I didn't see that. Everybody seemed to not like it.
Honestly, I thought it wasn't a terrible movie, but it was a movie like,
Yeah.
you could just
But
rent
you know
it.
what? I wouldn't think that Black Panther should win Best Picture. I mean, I love the movie.
No, it was a good movie. Yeah,
but I wouldn't ever put it up for Best Picture.
Yeah, because it was breaking records. Like,
Yeah.
it was an all black cast. It was definitely a minority film. It was definitely the first superhero.
It was culturally significant for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But it's Academy of Arts and Science. So something like that, like, I don't think Green Book should win because it's like predating us back to Driving Miss Daisy. Like, really?
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I mean, going back to that actor Ali, he was fantastic in it. Even, what's the name of the guy from Lord of the Rings? Viggo?
Oh, Viggo Mortensen?
Yeah, he was good. But the story itself was just misleading, you know, and I felt uncomfortable watching a little bit of it. I did see it in theaters. There were like some racial jokes that now, because of us growing up and being this times, I didn't find it funny. But next to me, this white couple, and I have to say they're white. They were white. They were laughing, and I thought, I was a little bit uncomfortable. You know,
I'm finding I've been rewatching That 70s Show recently.
Yeah,
and it's still a great show.
Yeah,
but there's some jokes that I'm like, holy shit.
And that's the thing. People have to understand. It was a different time.
Yeah.
If they did an Asian joke in Cheers or Friends, I'll be like, it's not appropriate, but it was that time.
Yeah, you can understand. Yeah.
Yeah, like In Living Color. I love In Living Color. You know? But if they do it now, it will offend so many people, bro.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
But what are you working on now?
So last week I had the director, Kevin Ali. He's a friend of mine. I had him on. He's currently promoting an Indiegogo for his film, a sci-fi film.
Is he Asian?
No. Oh. Well, he's
like South Asian or something.
No, his parents are from Trinidad. So
no, it's kind of Asian.
Well,
my cousins are Trinidad.
Well, yeah, I mean that's Caribbean, but yeah, he's a blend of a lot of different like Middle Eastern. Like, I think there's like some Indian, some Afghanistan. He's told me the whole list. It's a lot.
Well, ask him this because if he is Asian, I'm trying to start a new group on social media called Asian American Crowdfunding Network. So if he is, just tell him hit me up or post it or. Yeah,
I don't know if he counts, but I guess sort of kind of.
No, yeah, if he's Trinidadian or something, like I get that because my cousins are from Trinidad. There are Asians in that region.
I mean, if you saw him, you'd think he was Indian.
Yeah, even that. Like, I'm not just promoting just Asians. Like, when I say Asians,
you mean the whole continent?
Yeah, the whole continent. South Asians, West Asians, but just our rule is as long as the creator of the project has to be Asian. That's it. And because I feel like we need a voice and platform because Indiegogo, Kickstarter, you post something up, people forget. You know, you join this group, people be like, oh, what's this project about? I want to know.
Then, send me some info.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? I'll get you two in contact with each other. Because it'd be great if you guys talk to directly. It'd be good connection.
Or it goes back to networking. Like, hey, man, let's set a dinner up or set a lunch up, like on a weekend. I'll do that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going up to see him this weekend. I'm helping him record some ADR for a trailer.
What, up where? New Jersey?
Yeah. But, yeah, he actually, ironically, I met him. He lives not far from where I used to live. Mm-hmm. That's how I knew him and became good friends with him because we were so close. Yeah.
That's good. And what else is coming up besides that?
Well, I'm currently working on an orchestral album.
Okay.
So, I'll show you after we're done some of what I'm working on. It's You
got crowdfund that too?
No, there's no reason to.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, crowdfunded for, X amount of money. Like, not ask for like thousands of dollars. Just ask for like, hey, 500 just so I can print it.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think I'm gonna release this physical.
No, but what I'm trying to say is like just say, hey, I just need a printer or whatever just to pay for electricity bills, and it just gets.
See, I'm not gonna do that because it'd be kind of dishonest for me to, because I do it so independently.
Yeah, I get it.
Like,
but Kickstarter Indiegogo is the purpose of independent.
Yeah, but like, for me to ask for money for that would be inappropriate because I don't have any production costs because I do it so.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but let's
No,
say
there isn't.
no, no, but it's like I've seen some colleagues, not friends, but colleagues of mine who are asking 50 grand for a short film. Like 50 grand, that's ridiculous. Because I've seen 50 grand for a feature film on Kickstarter. The whole point of crowdfunding yourself, honestly, Mike, is to put your name out there.
Yeah.
So when people type in like Mike J. Kelly, the Kickstarter campaign will come out like first or second, and then people will be like, "Oh, who's this guy? Oh, let me check out his music." It leads to something. So if you're asking for like, hey, I'm just asking like $200 just for something, and in return I'll give you a digital copy for that.
Yeah.
You built your audience that way. I would not.
Yeah.
I would not discourage that.
The only thing, the reason I'm not is keying on it is, again, the only other person that's going to be involved in it is my artist who's going to be doing the album artwork. I mean, he's doing it for free, so maybe I could kick him a couple bucks, but aside from that.
But you know what I'm saying? It's a marketing strategy to build brand, and it's not about all the time about raising money and making a product. It's just putting yourself out there, like Love Express. Half that production shooting that short film was out of my pocket. The other half I covered for the actors, your expense, and also the film festival submissions. But it was to get exposure. I met a couple people through Kickstarter. They messaged me like, "Hey, I love the color correct," or "Hey, I like to compose your film." That was already, we locked you in, and I was surprised that people want to compose my film just by looking at the crowdfunding.
Yeah.
So if you put it on Kickstarter, like, "Oh, sure, I like your song. I'm doing this commercial. I'm doing this short film. When it's done, can we have it?" Half your job is done. Yeah, you gotta think about that.
I'd really have to figure out what I'd be marketing a Kickstarter for it, because, like I said, there's no actual production cost, because I do it all here. Like, I don't rent out a studio at all. It's completely done on here. I will be doing a little recording down the other studio downstairs, but that's nothing.
You should collaborate. You should collaborate with my friend Chris. He still has that studio basement down in Bushwick. You should collaborate with him and use that money to pay him, whatever. But in return, you get like a rich, crisp sound, and then you get to work with another colleague, and then build your network from that.
I'm not gonna. It would be unnecessary for me to do that. Like, I just don't need to. So I'm only gonna ask for money if it's something I absolutely need to do. But for this, I just don't need outside money for it. Because this isn't the kind of album where it wouldn't suit me to print physical copies.
No, I'll just make an example. I'm not saying you have to, but it'll just help you pay the cost of electricity bill, food, because you're bringing her in and stuff. You want to pay her artwork or whatever. It's just, if you're asking for, like, hey, I'm asking for 10 grand to make a music album, that's ridiculous. But but if you're asking, like, hey, I just need 500, you gotta easily get that. Trust me. And people will know, like, all right, it shows that he's budgeting common sense, like, as in he just needs food, pay the electricity bills, and he just wants to share music. That's it. It's definitely a good gateway to do it. Like my friend David, he did a comic book. He was gonna ask for, I'm not gonna say, but really low. But people was like, no, you should ask for more, because the more better. And he didn't have a name to himself, and he asked for, I think, 3 grand, and he got 4 grand out of it.
Wow.
Yeah, and with that, he's able to, get extra physical copies, pay the artists, maybe pay here and there. Like, it helps, man. And he got approached by Kickstarter to do an article on it. They're like, hey, we saw your crowdfunding thing is doing successful. Would you like to be interviewed with Kickstarter? With more exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, we're actually coming up on like hour and a half now. So I'm going to start closing out.
Yeah, man.
So I am ending each podcast with 2 questions for everybody. So
shoot.
What is your biggest insecurity when working in the industry, And like, what do you think holds you back? And then the second part is, what do you think is your biggest strength when you're working?
I think it's my lack of ability to communicate and vocabulary and my vocabulary because I grew up with Chinese immigrant family, so my first language is Chinese. Second or third language is English.
That makes sense.
So communicating is really tough for me.
I always wondered why you had like a slight accent, even though I knew you grew up here.
Yeah. So that's a lot of people hear that from me.
Yeah.
So I have a little Chinglish, so it's communication.
I've never heard that.
It's Chinglish. It's like
I don't think I could say that.
No, it's Chinglish and the Spanglish. It's a mix of it. So when people are working with me or some people who know, I'm very blunt because it's my culture, lack of vocabulary. I'm trying to build that, but it's just when you grew up in hearing like Chinese, Cantonese, Mandarin, and English and Toisan, it's not gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm not the richest. I'm not crazy rich Asian. I grew up. I'm not poor, but it wasn't like I went to like after school, Sunday school to get better at my academics. But we struggled. So my biggest flaw is definitely communication, and I'm trying to get better at it. My biggest, you say,
strength. Like your best asset. I
think people said, especially my close friends, I'm just loyal.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, because I guess I come from a separate, divorced parents, so seeing that kind of maybe like shifted my mind, and I didn't have much friends growing up as a kid because I was isolated in at home. Like go to Chinatown weekends and stay home and do homework and watch cartoons. So I didn't have much friends as growing up, but at a certain age, when I did have friends, like I really appreciate their camaraderie.
I can definitely vouch for that because, like, especially, like, I suffer from anxiety, so, like, especially early on, networking for me was so difficult, and you were very helpful. Like, I can honestly say, you've done so much for me.
Oh, you're welcome, bro.
As far as, like, building my network that you had no reason to do, like, at all. Like, we could have done a one and done and that's it. But like there's a lot of my network would not be where it is if it weren't for you.
I mean, we consider not just colleagues but friends too.
Yeah.
I think after the when Love Express was finished, we stayed in contact. I made my best to come out. And also you, like if you're willing to come out to, Jersey to all the way, to Manhattan to eat with us, it shows quality in you.
That's something I would like to say to anybody that's getting in the industry. You need to, if you are in an unideal situation, suck it up and deal with it.
Yeah.
Because if you can show that and not complain about traveling crazy, because for me, where I came from in New Jersey, it's like 2-hour trip to get to the city, sometimes more.
Yeah.
And that was there and back, so that's more like 4 hours of travel.
I mean, with you,
I did that for years.
Yeah, with you, I had to choose. Like, is it worth? Because I'm considerate too. Like, is it worth traveling all the way 2 hours just to eat with me? No.
Yeah.
But is it worth?
For me, it was.
Well, no, but eat and also meet other filmmakers or actors. Then yes, I try to make a good judgment. But yeah, that's one of my strengths, being loyal to fault. But now I'm learning, like, sometimes helping too many people does backfire.
Yeah, you gotta cut the cord.
Sometimes.
I'm learning that right now too.
Yeah. But sometimes I can't because there are some really good people out there. They support me, I support them. So yeah, that's one of my strengths,
But sometimes where you feel like you need to cut the cord, it's just you might just need to have a really honest conversation with that person too.
Yeah, but some people are not willing to have the conversation.
No, and that's where I think you got to start with that conversation, and if they don't take it well, that's when you cut it.
Yeah.
But I know I say this because I'm not a confrontational person. I run from conflict most of the time. It's only something in the last few months I've been working on. And so I know I have this tendency, and I imagine a lot of other people that are like me have this, where instead of having a conflict, you either just deal with it or you kind of ghost the person.
Yeah, you have to have that balance.
Yeah,
You have to have that balance.
Really important to have those hard conversations. It's
Yeah.
hard, and it can be rough.
Yeah. Well, you can't run away all the time,
Yeah.
but you definitely have to have that balance too. Is it
Mhm.
worth the time? If it is, and then they're not willing to try, then it's like, all right, I try my best.
But you might be pleasantly surprised after you've had it and find out it wasn't as big a deal as you thought.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this: like Love Express, Margaret and I had our, we did butt head a little bit,
Really?
but when we talked, I get her frustration. I get it. It was a tough production shoot, but at the end, we still maintained friends, and I honor that.
Yeah.
She was a good person to know, and I support her everywhere I can, and she does the same thing for me. It's just at that moment, people just need to vent, they need to talk it out, and I get it. At that time, I was just like, what to do? Should I not try to avoid that person? I don't want to talk to that person because if you're a filmmaker, especially you're managing, you're a leader.
Yeah, if you're the director, you have to be able to hear that.
Yeah. But some directors don't have time. But the main thing is you got to butt heads. Suck it up. Take care of your shit. Take care of your business. If they're not willing to follow, then move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that concludes the second episode of Impostor Syndrome. I'm sorry the video got screwed up. We're learning. It's just gonna happen.
You're learning.
So,
thanks,
just
Mike.
tell people how to find you. What, you know.
I mean, you can follow me on Twitter as Chen Xi Hao, ChenXiHao, or same thing as Facebook, same name with films. I'm still working on the branding, but usually just type in my surname, you can find me, or just look at Mike and see a picture of me and just tap that and connect me.
And I'm Mike J. Kelly. You can look me up. My website is MikeJKellyFilmComposer.com. It's convoluted, and it's pretty much the same thing in any of my other social media. So, all right, take care.